Okay, so I welcome everyone to this class. My name is Prof. Temi Akinwumi, and I'll be your instructor for the next 4 weeks. This is the Scrum Master course, and it's a 4 weeks course. This class is gonna be on Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The company name is Top Group Technologies. We're IT company and we are located in Lago, Maryland. This is our website and this is our support email. So this is my number. You can reach me on that anytime. Like I said, the hours will be 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday. Try and mute your phone so you don't get distracted. We probably could have one or two breaks. Sometimes we just go straight in, but sometimes we can have like 5 minutes break or something. Sometimes. It's gonna be an interactive class, so if you have question, you are free to ask your question. There will be instruction, there will be assignments and discussions, and there will be group exercises in for the class. A brief intro about me. My name is Prof. Temi. I've been a software engineer, cybersecurity expert, and a Scrum expert for over 26 years. I've been in tech industry. I have bachelor's in computer science from University of District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. I have master in software engineering and also master in cybersecurity, information assurance. Right now, working on my PhD in advanced computing engineering. I've supported major Fortune 500 companies over the course of my career, supported the Pentagon for more than 15 years on intelligence project that if I tell you I have to kill you kind of projects. And that's actually exposed me to a lot under my belt. So I'm also an adjunct professor. I lecture at 3 universities and I love what I do. I love to give back to my community. I love to support my community. Right now, I've mentored over 1,000 engineers, more than that. I lost kind of that, but it's more than 1,000 plus. I have a lot of them under my network. They are now working and doing so well in tech. Just as you have your own WhatsApp group, they have their own WhatsApp group too that I created, and they're all there, ready to embrace you, ready to work, to support you. One of the current recent testimony I have was a Scrum Master student I trained. Mostly my students don't have no IT background. Some of them might be even French speaking, that they can't even speak English very well, but they still get good jobs. So there's this particular guy. I train him. One of my students refer him. He did the Scrum Master class and he got a job. The job he got is for DC government, and they will be paying him $70 an hour, and he's doing well because the major thing here is that to listen to your instructor. When I give you instruction, follow it to the last. Take it to the bank and close your. Like I always tell my students, when I give instruction, close your eyes and take it. Don't even think about it because I've done this so much that I know everything about what I'm telling you. I've had my company now for 16 years plus, being the CEO of my own company. This is what we use also for my organization. We have our own government contracts. So when I tell you something, just know that that is it. Even just last night, one of the students I've trained, I just finished training them, got a job. She just finished class like 4 weeks. She just literally finished class. So I'm a mentor. Not only a coach, an IT trainer. I'm a mentor. I mentor them, guide them into what they need to do for own work, what they need to do um, for interviews. When I prep them for interviews, I prep you for interviews. I help you with your resume. I do your resume, help you get your resume started, show you all the way. Totally, pretty much, uh, walking you to the job. When you have interviews, you call me. This is the job. This is the interview I'm going for. This is what they ask you. They want to. I mean, this is the job description. Now, even though you don't send it, I'll ask you. Look at the job description and guide you what to do. If you need additional resources, I will send you exactly what to look for. And this is what I do for all my students. This girl got a job. This is a girl that the mom paid for her school, for her tuition. She doesn't work. She doesn't have a job. She just sits at home. And the mom was telling me, "Are you sure? Are you sure? I don't know. She doesn't have a father. I'm the only one taking care of her. I know she will be so excited now because this girl, she's making over a thousand, 100K per year, and it was just yesterday. I share some of these things. If some of you might have seen it overnight, I share it on um on the app. So it's very important that you have confidence in yourself and have confidence in whoever is training you, because I'm here for your success. So that's all I have to say for right there. I will stop and I will let you all introduce yourself. We start with Olubayo. Olubayo, introduce yourself, your name. Um, do you have any tech experience and what's your goal for the class? If you can show your face at least for this introduction, that would be super. If you don't mind, at least for the record.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Olubayo. I don't have any experience in IT, but I'm a computer literate. So, and I believe with a professor in charge, I'll be able to understand more about the IT and move further in life as a professional. Thank you.
Thank you, Olubaya. I actually met Olubaya 5 years ago. He's my runaway student. So I'm so glad that he's back. He knows that majority of the people I train him with, you've seen them working already. You've seen them, right? So this
Yeah.
is for real. So I'm glad that you are back for Scrum. Scrum is actually a good one for you. It's good that you know what you like to do. Not everybody will do cybersecurity. Not everybody will do cloud. Not everybody will do data analysis. But Scrum is easy. It's more of an easy, I've been doing training all day. I've done cybersecurity class today. I've done security plus today. Now I'm doing Scrum. Scrum is like, it's like just, I can do Scrum forever. Scrum is it's just easy. It's just pleasant. It's not difficult. So it's not like coding or scripting or pulling your hair apart kind of thing. It's something that is just relax. It's to chill and do it. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. So welcome. It's more like managing a project. I love Scrum. It's more like something that helps me to relax. It's not like something that you just relax with this, just chill with this thing. So you're welcome. Miss Toyi, please introduce yourself. If we can see your face, at least for the record, that would be good.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Oluwatoyin Olaniran. I have a background in accounting, not IT, but I'm quite interested in IT. And I've been trying to to pursue it for some time now until somebody introduced me to Miss Temi. And I'm glad to be here.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
I hope, yes.
And yeah, you not only hope. See, just smash the window and smash the door to the job. Seriously,
I can't wait.
It's very easy. Just don't be afraid.
I can't wait.
Something I will tell you. We don't have a mentor when we started. We just put head there. My own, I was telling myself, this is a do or die. This thing here, my head there. We are going to get to this thing. I don't care if it takes me 1,000,000 years. I'm going to achieve this goal. So when I was even in college and all of that, so, sometimes you notice that even when you're in college, those things are not relevant to the job because they don't. So I still have to be trained, like this kind of training. I still have to do this kind of training myself. So I have to go for this kind of training. I wasn't even driving then. I have to take a bus and I have to take a train to Tyson's Corner, like 2 hours. I was working 2 jobs. I was working as a security officer. I was also working in the gas station. I worked 2 jobs every single day. Night and day I work. In the evening and weekends, I'll go all day to training like this. And I'm so also in school, finishing my computer science degree. What am I saying is that you need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice anything that you would do and you are not sacrificing. Don't even bother because you will not do it. It will not be possible. Sacrificing is key, especially when you have somebody that will ready to mentor you and to help you. That is golden. That will pretty much give you guidance. I'll tell people I'm here to mentor you because I know what I went through. I don't have a mentor. If you have somebody to mentor you, go for it. Don't even think about it and follow that person and make sure you achieve your goal. People are making it, they're achieving it, they're making a lot of money. I can send you guys some of, at least I have recent ones, Scrum Master, a lady, a man that are into Scrum Masters and they are working. So at least those ones you can see. So that's very, very important. So I welcome you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
It's my pleasure.
You're welcome. Adelana.
Yes.
Okay.
The name is Delano.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't. Okay. I don't know if my video is working right now. That's
We can
okay.
see you, but it's going back and forth.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. The name is Adelano. Although I don't have a background in IT, I have done quite some things in terms of understanding what IT is all about. And I'm in school right now studying uh, for my programming certification. So basically, that's just the IT background I say I have, but I tend to, how will I say now? I've known about Scrum now for years now, but I've not really, probably about 15 years now, but I've not really had that gumption. Not time, it's gumption, it's guts to actually follow it. Because I was introduced by some Indian friends I knew, but I've never really had the gumption to go out. But I said, no, this year I needed to, because I need to upgrade in terms of earning and things like that. So that is why I'm in this class now.
You're welcome. So what are you doing? Which programming one are you doing in college?
I'm doing just well, certificate in programming. It's an associate in programming. So it's basically we just do a lot of nonsense stuff, really. If you ask
I like that.
a lot of stuff that basically that I mean you don't really need, but I guess they just have to do it so you can get your certificate at the end of the day. We dabble in so many things all together. We do, I mean, project management will do this. It's just so many things that I don't think is relevant, but
No, it is. It is. What they are trying to do is they're building the concept. They are building the concepts. Being an adjunct professor, there's so many things that you think is irrelevant, and being through IT from college and 2 masters in it. And even before I came to this country in Nigeria, I also already started, and I have associates in computer, which is like OND back home. Then I came here, I have bachelor's, and I'm doing my 2 masters, I'm working on my PhD. So it's like some things are not relevant, but the building your concept, your thinking, everything about you is changing because you are building the concept. So in the future, you might be able to put that into something that, oh, okay, I know this. How? Because I learned about that data structure. Okay, then I know this because I learned about logic and coding.
okay.
Or you might say, oh, I know this because I learned about how to set up grand chart or something. So it will come together as you go. Nothing is wasted in tech. Nothing is
Right.
wasted. It will come
I
together.
pray so. It won't be
Grace.
like some things I learned back in Nigeria that basically I never really used. But okay, let's
No,
let's
you
let's
will
pray.
see when you start working, it's come together. Everything you learn in tech will come together. Like for me, when I was in Nigeria, we were the first set that did some things in the college then. So some things they look irrelevant, like Lotus Notes. Lotus Notes is like Excel, but it's very old. We learn all of those things. So when I was like, I will learn those, we learned all of these things. Then when I came to the US, I had to get my transcript. So some things I had to be taking, or some things are they don't do that anymore. But at the same time, when you start looking at the new technology, it's like, oh, okay, this is look like the one I've done. It's different, but it's the same. So the concept is built. So it's not gonna be wasted. You will still get to appreciate those later.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, Dare, welcome, Dare. Can we see your face? You can't hide your face here. Dare is my student from previous class,
Good evening,
long
everybody.
time
Can you hear me?
ago. Yeah,
Can you
like
hear me?
5 years ago.
Can you
Yes.
hear me?
Oh yeah, nice to see your face.
You see my face? Okay, that's fine.
Introduce yourself, your name. Do you have an IT background, and what's your goal for the class?
All right, so I go by Ayo or Dari, whichever one. I actually have a background in IT, so I got my bachelor's in computer science. I was just looking. So after I finished college, I graduated from University of Maryland, Global Campus. So after finishing college, I was just trying to navigate, what branch of IT I wanted to go into. So I have technical skills, but I don't I'm not like tech guy. So I was just looking for a way to fit in. I just got my Security Plus certification, but I was thinking of, what branch of IT I really wanted to do. So I figured, okay, I have people skills and I have also technical skills as well. So I felt, okay, let me try Scrum. I have a few friends that are in Scrum, so they kind of influenced my decision a little bit why I'm
Good.
joining this class. So that's the why I'm here. So professionally, I've done some stuff on software development. So I'm familiar with SDLC, the software development lifecycle. I know it's going to be taught in this class.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm familiar with that. I do code in Java. I am not like a professional. It's just I'll say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like 5, 6. So I'm not like I'm technical, but not too tech. All right. So
Okay.
my professional goals is to hopefully after this class, get myself immersed in the world of Scrum and our Agile coach because
Good.
that's
I,
my
I
goal.
can see you're ready.
Yeah, I am. I've been doing a lot of YouTubing. I've been listening to a lot of
Great.
people on Clubhouse,
Yeah, always on Clubhouse as well.
yeah, on
Yeah,
I've been networking with other professionals as well.
that's
So
good.
yeah,
So you're welcome.
thank you.
So in this class, we are not only here to learn, we are also here to network and also to be your coach and your referrer. Because number one thing, when you get a job and there's nobody to stand for you, is you can't get in. So that's another area that I'm gonna be helping you to be your referrer and to guide you into getting the exam, to pass your exam. I'm gonna prep you for that. That's even very easy. And every
Yeah,
other thing that you need, I'm gonna be giving you. They're gonna be hands-on projects and all of that in this class. So I
okay,
welcome you all.
thank you.
So just a quick introduction to our classroom. So we encourage inclusion and diversity. So that's one of our diversity classroom. You can see people from different tribes, I mean different background, different age groups. So we don't discriminate. Everybody is welcome in our classes. And these are websites you can go on there. www.toggletech.com is a company website. But you can see that behind me, you can see my IT University. These are the the training part of our company. If you can go to myituniversity.com, myituniversity.com, you can see a bunch of training programs that we have on there. We are award-winning company. You can see some of these are some of our awards that we got from state of Maryland, from the Maryland House of Assembly, the Charles County, the Senate, the Congress, and so many other ones. I think I got four from four senators. These are from United Nations and so many other awards that I can't even put all of them here. Last year also, I got the 2020 Cybersecurity Award for being the Diversity Trailblazer of the Year. You can be the first. It's okay to be the first in doing something, okay? And it's also not only to be the first in doing something, empower others to do the same. And that's what I do. And I've been doing it for a while and I love it. And these are some of the rewards for that. So here we have some of our programs that we offer. Not only project management or Scrum or all that, we have so many other programs. In addition to, we have programs for kids coming up. Actually, during this summer, we're having collaborating with Microsoft to do free training for the children for a week in the coding, robotics, and all that. So if you have kids between the ages of 7 to 16 that are interested, let me know actually, because we're starting in July. It's just 1 week in July. So let me know so I can put them on that program to be part of that program. This more from my other classrooms. You have people like young, old. Most of these people are working. Young folks are working. Older folks are also in my classes. So everybody is welcome. Like I said, age is not constrained. So you can see here, these are also my students. Like we're building a community. We are building, um, you know, You know, all these people are in the community as well. So all these people, some of them are working. I'm getting a lot of testimonies every single day. People that are even older are getting jobs and stuff. I'm not going to point to any of them. I just got a testimony from somebody out of these people like last week. She doesn't know she will be able to ever get a job because she thinks she's older, bad credit, but she got a job. She's got a job as a tech lead somewhere, while paying her like 120 something thousand per year, and she's super excited. That was testimony from last week, and then the new testimony from this week too. So every time there's testimony about people getting into the job, it's a journey. It's a journey. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody. Take time to go through it and get your own job. That's it. So let's dive in. Let's get into it. Definition of Scrum. What is Scrum? Scrum is a framework. Scrum is a framework. So that means Scrum will not tell you this is exactly how you will do what you want to do, but it will give you a guidance to it. That's one. Then it used to address complex adaptive problems. So there are some complex problems that you can adapt to. So we can use Scrum for that purpose. And then productively and creatively deliver products of highest possible value. So it helps us to be productive. It helps us to be creative. And we're able to now deliver products of the highest value. Those are a couple of things I want you to look at. It's used to manage work on complex products since the early 1990s. Like my brother is saying, he said he has known about Scrum for 15 years. Yeah, it's been for a long time. Even though it's not very popular, but Scrum has always been there. Even because since when I started my company, before I started my company, we've been using Scrum at the job. With Scrum, as part of as a software engineering, the project, we always the dumping ground for a lot of this stuff. We do Scrum on all of my projects. We use Scrum every day. So Scrum is very good. It helps you to be accountable and productive. Scrum is not a process, techniques, or definitive method in a process of framework. So it's not a process. It's not a methodology. It's more like a framework. It's like you bought a shelf. I bought a shelf from the store and I put the shelf in my house. And I bought the shelf and put it in his house. The same shelf, when we now put stuff on it, it will look different. You will not know that it's the same shelf. I may take my shelf and paint it and then put flowers on it. He may take his shelf and put electronical stuff on it. It will look his shelf, but it's different things on it. So that's kind of Scrum is a framework. It's not a process or a techniques or telling you, okay, if you are going to do this programming, I'm going to deliver a project to this customer, it has to be done with Oracle, and then the bracket is Oracle, the front end is Windows based, and it has to be Apache server. No, it doesn't tell you all those cons. It just tells you these are the step by step that you need to follow. You determine what you're going to do on each step. So that's what Scrum is. That's how it's set up. Scrum is lightweight. That's the reason why it's lightweight is because it's not enforcing you to use certain technologies. You determine what you put on it. You determine how your Scrum will run. If you follow the major concept, you determine the other, you fill in the gap. It's simple to understand. It's difficult to master because every time you think, oh, okay, I've gotten it, the other projects might be different. So that's the only reason why we said it's difficult to master. Give me 1 second. Because somebody's supposed to log in, but they are not. So I still got a text from there. Okay, that's fine. So in 100 words, what is Scrum? Scrum is an agile process that allows us, well, we might say it's process, but it's not really a process, it's more like a framework that allows us to focus on delivering the highest business value in the short time. the highest business value. So that means your customer comes to you and said, okay, Adelana, I need you to work on this project. And the project is that I need you to build me an object that will take me from point A to point B. And I want it in 4 weeks or in 2 weeks. So that means Adelana will take the requirements, the use cases, the information that the customer gave, and then start working on the process from point A to point B, right? So it decided to build a bicycle because that's the closest it can get to doing it fast. So it delivered to the customer in 2 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever they decide to do. So now the customer comes back and said, okay, that looks good. Can you, it's a bicycle, but it can only take one person. Can you make it take 2 people? Then he changed it to a scooter. He said, it's faster, it's faster. It takes 2 people. Can you make it take 4 people? So now I change it to a car. So what am I saying is that the Agile framework allow you to deliver the highest business value at a short time. We deliver as we go at a short time. That's Scrum for you. It's not like project management that you have to finish every single step before you go to the second step. No, we do it step by step, and I'm going to break that down as we go. It allows us to rapidly and repeatedly inspect actual working software every 2 weeks to 1 month. So every 2 weeks, we can deliver a working software. It may not be exactly what the customer wants because they don't know what they want. They're trying to define what they want as they go. So you actually use Scrum when the customer doesn't know everything. They don't have all the requirements yet. They don't know exactly what they want, but they want to be going, having something to work with as they go. So it evolves. So can rapidly and repeatedly inspect actual working software, actual working product every time they deliver. So the business set the priorities and the teams are self-organized to determine the best way to deliver the highest priority features. So the team of, so we have the Scrum Master, the owner of the products, and the development team. Okay, so we're gonna get into that. So the team, the developers team, the people, the developer, the business analyst, the software engineer, the database engineer, the network engineer, everybody that works on the team, they are self-organizing. So that means they organize themselves. You are not going to enforce anything they are doing. You are not going to micromanage them as a Scrum Master. It's like a teamwork. You put everything down, and then everybody pick what they want to do. So we'll get into that. So that's one of the good things about Scrum. And that's what they need to do, and everybody get to do what they gotta do. Every 2 weeks to a month, anyone can see real working software, right? So it can be, you can decide to do your own Scrum sprint will be 2 weeks. It can be 4 weeks, which is 1 month. And every time there's going to be a working software, and decide to release it as it is and continue to enhance it for another sprint. So whatever you deliver in this sprint, because when you deliver this week now, that week or maybe 2 weeks, you decided, okay, from the beginning of the product, getting all the tasks ready to do them, and to the end that I deliver and I said it's finished, that's 1 sprint. It might be 2 weeks, it might be 4 weeks. So to the end, you'll be able to deliver every single time it will be a working product. So that's in 100 words the meaning of Scrum. So Scrum originated, like we said, in the early 90s, right? So we have Jeff Sutherland, initial Scrum. So they started it that time. And they, in this company, IDX, they have over 500 plus people doing Scrum. And then with Ken Schweber, with ADM also. So all these guys, they are the fathers of Scrum. They started the Scrum. So Scrum is not a new thing. It's just that it became a buzzword because it's one of the great ways to manage your project. So we have Agile project management with Scrum. Project manager by itself is okay, but it's just that we're going to get into it. It's very slow. And at the end of the day, you might even deliver a product that the customer does not want. they are not satisfied because I remember I worked on a particular project for a tech company. I worked with a lot of tech company over the course of my life, and one of the tech company I worked for, it took them a whole year to put together the document for requirements. A year for requirements, seriously. By the time we got into the project development, some of those technology they wrote is obsolete. And when I have to code, I have to read from page to page to code, do my coding. They put all the concept there. So I have to read from, I have to code by the letters. And by the time we finish the project, guess what? Is it even useful again? Or the customer already decided to change to another tool. So what a waste of money. So that's why Scrum is good, because Scrum, every time you are delivering, so it encourages delivering products that are workable products every time during every end of each sprint. So many companies are using Scrum right now. We have Microsoft, Yahoo, and all of these companies. We listed down so many companies are into Scrum. Lockheed, from a software company to big tech companies, product companies, everybody use Scrum. Scrum is a very great um, tool for them to use as a company. And they use it for many purposes, from commercial software to in-house development to websites to mobile phone. You can use Scrum for anything. Most of my students, Scrum students, some of people are working for Toyota, Nissan, some people are working for Blue Cross Blue Shield, some people are working for the government. So Scrum is used everywhere. Even in a church, you can use Scrum. I've trained people that are from the hotel. There's one particular hotel I trained like 6 people from the hotel, and the manager and all of them came, and I said, "Wow, this is great for us. So let me get everybody in the department, all the managers to come." So they incorporated Scrum now in the hotel. So it's used everywhere. And I'm talking about this hotel that's even in Nigeria that have not woken up. Most hotels have not woken up, but this particular hotel, they're using Scrum now because they noticed that using a regular project management is not working for them. There's no communication. They are not working together. This person is not. So I have to train all of them, and it was really good. They're using the Scrum now. So Scrum can be used anywhere. Characteristics is self-organizing team. So this team is self-organized. So everybody, work together. I'm going to show you some simulated videos about how a real Scrum. So this is not only you being in class. I'm going to simulate the environment for you. You're going to have a project. So by the time you finish this class, you have a hands-on on Scrum and actually kind of really know what it is before you get into the job. So you're not just doing a fly over my head. No, we're not doing that. We are really going to be expert by the end of the day. So a self-organizing team, product progress in a series of monthly sprints. So you progress monthly as sprint. Requirements are captured as item in a list of backlogs. So you have your requirements. When the product owner give the requirement, they put them as a product backlog. So this is a backlog. Everything is like put there, and then we can pick from there gradually to get to put into our script for that sprint. We will still break all of those things down as I go in. No specific engineering practices is described. So we are not saying, okay, this is the kind of engineering, we're not following this kind of engineering, no. Because that's why I say it's lightweight. It's not too engrossed with particular technology or this. No. Nobody's enforcing that. It's uses generative rules to create an agile environment for delivering products. So you can generate all those rules are there and we follow them. And one of the agile process, there are so many other agile process. It's not only Scrum, but Scrum is one of the best, is one of the popular one. We have Kanban and so many other ones, but Scrum is very popular. So we are looking at the Agile Manifesto, a statement of value. So individual interaction over process and tools. In the olden days, when you're looking at project management, you see so many processes. Today we might be doing system development life cycle from the beginning of the system to the end of the system. So we're looking at maybe when the system start, we start developing the system to when the system is delivered, we might be doing it in waterfall, which is very common in the olden days. Everything start from the beginning, then the next, then the next. One has to completely finish before the next. So a lot of processes, a lot of tools all over the place. You get confused like, oh my God, which one am I doing next? Project management. But with Scrum, we're talking about individual and interaction. People come together, they meet every day. Every day we do the daily 15 minutes meeting, stand-up meetings. They interact, they discuss, they communicate. So we appreciate that, and we value that over the old way where how things used to be done. Also, working software, a software is working. It's not about comprehensive documentation. We document like the one I told you. You document for a whole year before they can even start touching the document and software. But for the customer always want a working software. Let's start with whatever we have, and we can grow from there. So it's not about documenting everything to that's not working. The customer is frustrated, but working one is always appreciated. Customer collaboration. With Scrum, customer can collaborate. Customer can come on site, can attend the Scrum. Because there's Scrum every day. There's 15 minutes, literally there's 15 minutes Scrum every single day. So we are always meeting. There's always collaboration. There's always discussion. So that if there's any impediment or anything that is not going to allow to be productive, the customer can help us right away. Instead of contract negotiation and all of those stuff. No, everything's transparent with Scrum. And then responding to change over following a plan. We are not talking about following a plan. It's like, okay, we want to change something, let's change it. Because if we see a mistake that we made in the last sprint, we will not make the same mistake in the next sprint, because we've seen what we have learned, the value learned, what mistake we have made, how to make it better, and then it's going to help us in the next sprint. So responding to change is very visible in Scrum. Project noise level. Yeah, okay, before I forget, one thing I want you two guys to do for me, in the group chat, can you please put there for me and say, I'm here, and then put your name and email address, because I will be emailing everything to us immediately after the class. So I like to make sure that I have everybody's email. The reason why I don't send it before, because I wasn't sure how many people are going to be here. I know some people are supposed to be here, but they are not. So, but maybe they are still going to be showing up. But please say it there, I'm here, and your email, so that I can add you to the program. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's one of the person that's supposed to be here too. I think he's sending me something, so I'm trying to look at it, but that's okay. So make sure you send that to the group. No, not here. Send it to the WhatsApp group. Say your name and email address to the WhatsApp group, so that I'll be able to send all the slides to you every single time before class. Okay, so noise level. So in the noise level, you can see we have requirement and we have technology. Your requirements must also be able to commensurate with your technology, or the technology must be able to commensurate with your requirement. So when everything is close to agreement on requirement and close to certainty, then we have a simple project. There's no noise, because we have agreement on requirement and we have great technology. We are fine. But when we are far away, we always are, arguing, and we don't ever agree, and we don't have good technology. When we have complicated software, it goes to complex, and then become an anarchy, because now we can't really control it anymore. It goes haywire. So we don't have to have those kind of noise. When you have a high level of noise in a project, there's a problem. So now let's look at this flow. So this is Scrum. In this Scrum, we have the product backlog. So in the product backlog, we have items. Let's say this is a particular product that we're trying to build for, let's say we're trying to build an application for a particular company, and the application is more for gifts, like a gift shop or a selling company that sells products. So we're seeing here we have the what some of the so we already have a website, and now the customer wants us to add more to that website, to add more functionality to it. So the customer said, okay, I want you to create a return page for my app. I want you to create a gift wrap page, so that in case anybody want to do gift wrap, they will come there and select, oh, I want this kind of paper, I want this kind of ribbon, I want whatever. Then they want to cancel the whole product. I want to create a button for cancel. So all these are new requirements. So say, okay, it's a new requirement. Okay, put it in the product backlog. As we start the sprint, we'll start putting it into the Scrum gradually, just into the new sprint. So every time in a sprint will consist of 2 to 4 weeks. So if you decide your own sprint to be 2 weeks, so be it. If you decide to be 4 weeks, so be it. But you can't be saying, okay, today we are doing 2 weeks this sprint, next sprint we are going to 4 weeks. No, whatever you decide is what you will go with. You can't be going back and forth. So every sprint will have 2 to 4 weeks. Then at each sprint, the Scrum Master will take one of these product backlog and we move into a sprint goal. That will be their goal for that sprint. We are doing returns. And why do we just pick some and then be able to say returns? Because in case when someone just want to ask us, maybe customer or somebody that doesn't want to go into technicality or to the details, just want to say, what are you doing this week? I say, okay, we are doing returns this week. So our goal in this sprint is returns. So we pick whatever we want to do in the backlog, and that's our sprint goal. So that's what we're doing in that sprint, for example. So we put the returns and then divide this into something we call a sprint backlog. So now the sprint, we took returns from the backlog without breaking down into sprint backlog, into little chunks, or like little tasks that people will now take, the developers can take one by one and now work on it. Okay, so the sprint goal is broken down into sprint backlog. And after 2 to 4 weeks of a sprint, we are able to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. That means we can deliver this product, but we can add more to it in the next sprint. This is one iteration. Then we have the next iteration. We continue to enhance the product as we go. So when the customer asks, okay, I have another thing. Oh, I remember. You need to work on coupons. So I said, okay, work on coupon. Don't worry. Bring it on and add it to the backlog again. So when you bring a new thing, it comes to the backlog, we add it. So they can't just come and say, oh, I want to work on coupon, and then it just come and drop it in your lap like they do for project management. I work on a particular project that I was on the customer side, unfortunately, and we don't have a manager on site. So it's only 2 of us that are developers, and the customer is one of the government agencies, and we are at their mercy. They just come to your desk and say, Temi, work on this. But I'm already working on something. And you already said I should deliver by Friday or something. Why are you giving me a new thing? But you can't say that to your customer. So you still have to collect it. Whatever they want, you still collect. You'll be asking, which one will I do first? And you still have to be professional and nice to them because they can fire you. This particular customer was even crazy. You understand? So you have to still be able to be nice to the customer. They are always right. You work with them, but they can give you a dick. But with sprint, with this Scrum, at each sprint, when a customer has a new requirement, they can't just come and show it to you down your throat. They put it in the backlog. We get there. They can prioritize and put it on top of the other ones. We get there in the next sprint. We can't stop whatever we're doing. Once we start a sprint, it's in a box. It's boxed time. It's box timing. We finish it totally before we put anything into the sprint again. And so we continue like that. We
I
continue
have a
like,
question.
yeah.
So I just to uh, words of it, just to iterate what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So a sprint is like an archive of requirements. A sprint backlog, I mean. So it's like a set of requirements that you're getting from your client or customer, and those backlogs is what the developers are going to be working with. Is that correct?
Mm-mm. So it's like this. If a customer, okay, let's say, if I'm the Scrum Master
Okay.
and you are the product owner, so you came to me and said, can you build for me a website that will have all of this information? Maybe I want to return an item like Amazon, right? I want to cancel an order. I want to let them use coupons. I want to do a gift wrap for them. These are all your requirements. I will tell you, I mean, you are the product owner, right? What are you going to do? You're going to bring all those requirements for me and shove them under product backlog. That is what you want. But I can't put it in the sprint yet. I will now tell you, can you prioritize this for me? Which one do you want first? So you will say, okay, I want returns first. I will now take return from you as a Scrum Master. I'll break the return down into small chunks. The small chunks is not our sprint backlog. You understand?
Okay.
So the small chunks that I break from I take return. The return will be our sprint goal for that sprint because that's what we're focusing on. We're
Okay.
picking that, we're focusing on that. I break it into small chunks, and that small chunk becomes task or the use cases that we are going to be using. The developers will pick them one by one and start working on them.
Okay.
This is our to-do list
For just return, for just this
for
print,
just
for
that
just this
return,
particular
for
print.
that particular sprint.
Okay, copy. So while the developers are working on, when it gets to the stage of the shipments and stuff,
Mhm.
can the clients be using the product while it's being worked on? Is that
Yeah,
possible?
yeah, they can because if it's a
Even though
website
the
is if
even
it's a
though even though the website is not done yet.
no, because we are doing it batch by batch. So we said we deliver a workable product every sprint. So we might say, okay, the website in 4 weeks you can do a working website. It may not do everything, but it can do some things. It's workable. You understand? So it's workable. It's not doing everything yet, but we are adding to it as we go.
Okay.
And it's okay if it's okay with the customer like that. Then they select sprint and Scrum. If they want everything to be totally developed, then let them go to project management, regular project management. Then they know they want to wait like forever to be delivered. Whatever
No.
is ready in 6 months.
So my question is, can the clients be using, okay, for instance, we're using a software, a website. Can the clients be using the product while the product is being worked on?
Yeah, that's what I say. Yes, they can because
Wow,
it's working.
fantastic. And they can be
It's
making money off of it too.
exactly. They can be making
Uh,
money off of it because it's working. It's not doing everything, but it's doing some things.
some things.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
I understand now.
yeah. Any other questions? Very good. Those are good questions. Help you to us to clarify. Make sure you are getting it.
So another question. So for
Mhm.
instance, in this scenario, so return is going to have his own sprint backlog. Cancel is going to have his own sprint backlog. Coupon is going to have his own sprint backlog. Every single
We
step or process is going to have his own sprint backlog
yes, because we are not going to do everything together. We pick what we want and then we break them down as a sprint backlog.
in order of their importance.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Mm.
all right.
So every 24 hours, we get ready to have a daily scrum. You can see it also here. So that means every 24 hours we have daily scrum. So every day, most of the time, the ones that we did at my job, we have scrum meeting like 8:30, 9 o'clock every day, 15 minutes scrum. We call it stand-up meetings. We don't sit down. We stand up there's a scrum room. We all come to that room and we all stand up, and there's a big board in front, and you're going to see that we have a big board. We call it a Scrum board, and then we put our, it's demarcated, and everybody will discuss what they are working on, and it's now visualized. It's like you're having a visual board. It's visualized. You see the product you are working on, how you move it from one stage to another of the sprint. So you can see that here, the sprint backlog divided into chunks, as product backlog divided into sprint backlog, and then in 2 to 4 weeks and sprint, you have a potentially shippable product, and we meet every 24 hours, daily Scrum meetings, so that if there's any impediment or anything that is blocking us or whatever, we can always discuss that and communicate. So that some people will just be idle, be sitting in the office, not doing anything in a regular project management, and not even talking, and people are not discussing, they are not communicating with each other. But in Scrum, it's not going to happen, because we're going to meet, we're going to discuss. Customer can just log in or can just call in and just listen. So if you have any problem, the problem is tackled that day, nothing to waste, because tomorrow you will tell us what you've done tomorrow. Now you will tell us what you've done tomorrow, because today you said you have this problem. You can't have the same problem tomorrow, so that means you are not doing anything. We are not enforcing or forcing or whatever, but at least we will know if you are doing something or not. So putting it all together like that. So Scrum, as a lot of this now, I'm still going to repeat, so you get the old gist more as we go. So looking at the sprint, Scrum projects make progress in a series of sprints. So as the project is going, it will be making more progress. It will be progressing, gonna be enhanced and get better. Analogous to extreme programming iteration, we are having a new each time that we have a new sprint, we are having, this is one iteration, this is the second iteration, so we're having different versions, getting better, enhancing the product. So typically duration is 2 to 4 weeks, or a calendar month at most. So it can be 2 weeks, it can be 4 weeks. A constant duration leads to a better rhythm. So you can say 2 weeks, you can say 4 weeks, but you can't just be going back and forth. Product is designed, is coded, is tested during the sprint. So that this is time when they design the product, they code, do all the programming, and they do all the testing. After the testing and all of that, and we know everything is functional, then it's good to go. Okay, this is an example of system development and life cycle, sequential versus overlapping development. So we have requirements, we have design, code, and testing. It's always going to be a time when the customer will give us a requirement, where we will know the customer says, I want to do this, 1, 2, 3, 4 is what I want to do. And then we start looking at the design. How do we design it? How do we code this? And when after designing or creating a prototype, maybe this is how it's going to look like. I think it's going to look like it, do a sketch of it. Then we start doing the coding, the back end, the front end, the scripts, the code, the database, the whatever we're doing. We start doing the coding, and then we test it, and then we deploy it. Or we may have to acquire something that's already on the shelf and code it and test it and deploy it, customize for the customer. Okay, so this is more like a old way of doing in a waterfall or any other methodology that we want to use. That's more like a typical traditional way of doing project management and system development lifecycle. Rather than doing all of one thing at a time, Scrum team do a little of everything at all the time. So they do a little bit of requirement, a little bit of design, a little bit of coding, a little bit of testing. Everybody is in a different phase of their project. When I'm working with the requirements, gathering folks, working with the design, working with the code, working with the testing group, it might be different from when Tony is doing her own, because we're working on different projects. So different projects or different part of the project we're working on might be in a different status at that time. Because you use Scrum also not only for, sometimes you can do Scrum of Scrum. That means you may be doing couple of projects on the same Scrum. A project might be, maybe you have, there's a particular company I work for, and we are doing like, that project, that Scrum might have like 6 projects or more, big projects, and we all come together in one room. So I might be working on a particular project called ECOP. Somebody might be working on a project called HR. Another one might be working on a particular project called schools. And we all come and give our status, what we're doing. We talk about the daily stand-ups. So it's just more of being accountable, and the customers are there, or you're just giving it to the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master can manage many projects at the same time. So it's more like, okay, this is what you are working on. What's your problem? Do you need any help? So we can even cross, some projects can help each other. Some developer teams can help each other if it's not going to impede their process for that, whatever they're working on. And that's not what I'm saying. So it doesn't have to be just one. There can be many Scrum running simultaneously by the same Scrum Master, and they can run the same 15-minute stand-up, 30-minute stand-up, whatever they decide. That is 30-minute stand-up because we have many projects. And there's a particular one that's 15 minutes, but it's all determined by the Scrum. The Scrum team determine what works for them, but the standard is 15-minute stand-ups.
Do you have the same product owners or different product owners? Still the
Yeah,
same product owner for the same
it depends.
for
It
all the
can be
projects?
different. It can be different product owner, but sometimes it can be the same product owner, because in most of these IT companies, the big IT company, this particular company is actually not a Grumman, and the company,
That's true. Okay,
yeah,
I'm
and the
familiar.
company that we worked for is um one of the army, you know, organization or something, agency like that. And it's the same agency, but they are different, particularly different product owner. But we have to be accountable for our own product. So we are discussing with the Scrum Master and working together because sometimes we cross breed. You understand? Some people might be working on 2 or 3 things. So it's a better way for us to communicate, because it helps us to work together, understand the problem they are having. Maybe we will have the same problem later. It's just a better way to communicate with the daily stand-ups. You understand? So it doesn't have to be just one-way traffic. This is the simplest form that you are seeing, but it can be different based on how you want to do your Scrum team. It's the concept that is good, that everybody love to embrace. So no change during a sprint. When you're working on a sprint, you don't want anybody to just enforce that you should add a change or you should do certain things. So plans sprint duration around how long you can commit to keeping change out of the sprint. So you tend to work on this and make sure you keeping your change out of the sprint, making sure that nobody will just come, customer just come, oh, can you add this? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do now. Oh, this is a new one. No, it's a boxed, we have to put it in a box. This is what we're doing. If you need anything, you want to add any change, please put it in the backlog. We get to it. That's it. So 3 pillars of Scrum that I want you to pay attention to. This upholds every implementation of empirical process control. Transparency. Like I said, Scrum is very transparent. When you meet somebody every single day and you discuss what you are doing, you are transparent enough that you can't hide under anything. Everybody's speaking the same language, and we are discussing our communication. Inspection. We're able to inspect all the variables, all the input variables and the output variables, what we're doing, the parameters involved, whatever you need for this particular sprint, we are inspecting all those specification. Adaptation. If you have to adapt to any particular situation because of what we're doing, we can also, I'm going to break this thing down in the next slide. So we have I use the acronym TIA, 3 pillar of Scrum: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. So what is transparency? Significant aspect of the process must be visible to those responsible for the outcome. So we have to have significant aspect, and that aspect of the process must be visible. Everybody must see it. It's not the one that say, "Oh, I'm going to hide this. I don't want them to take away my job. Oh, I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing." Everybody must see it. That's why we're doing the daily stand-ups. Nothing is hidden, so that we have the same outcome. A common language referring to the process must be shared by all participants. We must speak the same language. Not that Olubayo saying, we are going to work on database, and I'm saying we are working on web development, because we are not communicating and we don't even meet. Some Do you know some organization, they meet once a week on Fridays when they're about to go, or they meet on Monday, or they do midweek meeting during the regular project management. They don't discuss. Some of them don't even meet like that. So how can they speak the same language? They can't. But when you meet every single day, come on. It doesn't have to be long meeting, 15 minutes, you know. So a common language referring to the process must be shared by all participants. Those performing the work and those inspecting the results, resulting increment must share common definition of done. So if I'm working on the project and you are inspecting the project, we must all know when it is done. That means it is finished, it is completed. The customer, this is what the customer wants, and we know the definition of the word done. So we must all know when it is ready, so that we can work towards the same common goal. We should all know, share the common definition of done. Okay. The second one, inspection. Scrum user must frequently inspect Scrum artifact. So they must be able to inspect the Scrum artifact and say, okay, these are the components. They are able to frequently inspect them. We're going to get more into that. I'll break it down more. Progress towards a sprint goal to detect undesirable variance. So we progress towards a sprint goal. We have a goal. I said my goal this month is to develop the returns. In this sprint, I'm develop returns. So we must progress towards the goal of developing returns to detect undesirable variance, so that if there's any undesirable variance, we'll be able to tackle that. Their inspection should not be so frequent that inspection get in the way of the work. You can't be inspecting something that is not done or not finished, because sometimes when you inspect something when it's prematurely inspected, it's a waste of time, a waste of resources. So the inspection should not be so frequent that inspection gets in the way of the work. You finish totally, then we inspect. You understand? So that is inspection. Adaptation. If an inspector determines that one or more aspects of a process deviates outside acceptable limits and that the resulting product will be unacceptable, the process of the material being processed must be adjusted. So if I know that we want to deliver something, and then it deviates outside of the acceptable limits, like this is not what we agree on, and that the resulting product will be unacceptable, the customer will not accept it, then the process or the material being processed must be adjusted. Adjust it to what the customer will want. So adapting to that rule, like, okay, this is not going to work. Whatever you're doing right now is not what the customer will want. So we have to adjust it so that we adapt it to be accepted to the customer. You understand? Because sometimes there might be variables or some impediment or something that will not make you to be able to deliver what the customer wants. So the customer should be carried along, and we all adapt and adjust it to meet the definition of done for that customer. Scrum values. So there are a couple of Scrum values I want us to look into. Commitment, courage, focus, openness, and respect. So I use this acronym C4, CC4. Commitment, courage, focus, openness, and respect. Okay, let's break it down. The Scrum team member have courage to be committed to do things right and work on tough problems. So the Scrum team member have the courage to be committed. So you have the courage to be committed to do the right things and work on tough problems. Because you're always meeting, you're always discussing, you encourage. You're not just doing it by yourself that nobody is helping or everybody's doing their own thing. It's a team effort. So you have the courage to be committed to whatever you are doing and to do it right and to work on tough problems. If there's any tough problem that you have, it's a whole team effort. We try to make sure that whatever is the impediment is removed. Then everyone focuses on the work of the sprint. So whatever we're working on that sprint, everybody focus on it. And the goal of the Scrum team. So it's everybody working together. So you see collaboration there. Then the Scrum team and its stakeholders agree to be open about all the work and the challenges with performing the work. So the team and the stakeholder, they agree to be open. So nobody's gonna hide anything or close-minded about anything. We are open to it, and we see if there's any challenges, we help to resolve the challenges. There are sometimes that you may have some junior developers, they are new, they are young, they don't know so much. When the older and the younger and the mid level ones work together, you see a lot of time the Scrum make it easier for the older one to mentor this young one, because we always meet every day. They always meet every day. So if you're having any problem in the team, some people can just pop in and guide you into where the code is not working, where something is not working, because we meet every day. What of the one that you only meet once a week? It takes a week for somebody to come and help. But with Scrum every day, somebody is always gonna just pop into your office after the early Scrum and look at it and see if they can help you fix that issue so that you don't have any impediments. Scrum team members respect each other to be capable, independent people. So the Scrum team respects each other. It's not the one that they're always fighting, arguing, having anarchy, everybody is disrespectful. No, Scrum encourage people to respect each other, to be capable and independent people. So you don't have to depend so much on anybody. You work on your own and everybody help themselves in the project. Okay, so that's my quick intro to Scrum. There's still a lot to be learned, but I'm starting with that as a quick intro. So we're going to be bringing out and discussing the Scrum. And the funny thing is that in our day-to-day activities, we might be using Scrum at a job, but you don't know, right? The major goal is to be able to make sure that you understand what we're talking about when we talk about Scrum, and that you know how to apply that to your day-to-day at the job. Any questions? Guys?
My question is, I mean, you kind of answered it partially, but I know, is there a difference between the Scrum Master? I'm just trying to understand the whole, the
But we didn't,
how the team.
we are just doing introduction. We're not getting deep into it yet.
Okay,
This
yeah,
is just a preamble. So we're looking at it and discussing. So by the time we get deeper into Scrum, by next week, you see how I'll break all of those things. Now, this is just like intro. So a lot of your questions we get answered as we go, but whatever question you have, you can ask. And everybody else, nobody is asking questions, only Ayo. Maybe it's only Ayo in this class, and I can't see your face. You are all there, you are quiet. Maybe you are sleeping on me. It's not a
so,
show now. Come on, guys.
I mean, I was just trying to see how the whole thing puts together. So now I know there's the Scrum Master, there is the product owner, you
Mm-hmm.
have the developer team.
Uh-huh.
Is there a team leader or that
No, 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 no.
those?
That's a regular. Okay, hold on. Let me explain something to you.
So I don't know what makes up a team. So
Oh,
I'm
we'll
just
still
trying to
get to, yeah,
yeah,
you are
I'm just
too,
trying I'm just trying to wrap
you
my
are
mind.
so
I'm,
ahead. Oh,
sorry, I'm
these
just
are all
trying
the
to
questions you have on your head, in your head.
yeah.
But
No, it's just the way you're explaining. It's just triggering some things in my head.
okay, that's good. So that's good. So the thing is that in a Scrum, okay, let me leave what I wanted to show you for now so I can answer your question. And I'm sure it's gonna help everybody. So in a Scrum, in a team, right? In a team, in a project, we'll have the project. Okay, let me show you something I use for cybersecurity class. Let me share that if I didn't close it yet. I used it for them this morning. Give me 1 second while I. Okay. So I'm going to share with you the some useful tips on that. This one will help. Okay, so that's good. Let me share this. Okay, this I made this for the class from the, I don't know. Okay, so I use this for my cyber class this morning. So you can ignore the middleware, right? Because this is more for a security analyst. But think about system development lifecycle. So we have initiation, which is like requirement gathering, right? And we have design and development. We have testing, which is also implementation, right? We have operation and maintenance, and we have disposition, which is like when you don't need the product anymore. So looking at the task under each, you will have initiation, which is also, hold on, sorry. Let me write for you guys. I will just put a requirement so we are speaking initiation or requirement, design or development, implementation or testing, operation and maintenance, which is okay. Okay, that's cool. Let me save it. Okay. So we have initiation or requirement gathering. That's when you initiate, meet the customer, talk to the customer, gather requirements, and all of those things, meet customer, get requirement. Business analyst does that. So this has all the team members in an IT department. So the business analysis would do that, which is analyzing the system, getting requirement together, and or a project manager can also do that. But in most cases, can be a business analyst. So some people can be business analyst / project manager. Okay.
Okay.
Then design and development. Design and development, we have use the requirement to create a system, right? So design, development, creating a prototype, making sure that we understand what the customer wants. It happens under this. So use requirement to start looking at creating the system. We design it, we develop it. So software designer, software developer, database developer, they develop. So they are under design and development, and even the architect and a security system architect. So we have implementation and testing. After they design and develop, they finished. Then there will be, we have to test it to make sure that it's implemented correctly. So that's when you see
Testing
us
and
doing
debugging.
debugging. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's software engineering. So I don't want to go too deep into engineering.
No, I understand. I do this in my final project, so
Exactly.
I
So that's
understand what you're
why
doing. Yeah.
each class I have to tweak things so that it doesn't fly over their head.
No, I understand. I'm
Eh,
following you.
So implementation and testing. So we have testing. So under IT team, we have software developer can test, and we have the system testers also, they test. Under operation and maintenance now, the system is now put to use. It's now deployed. System is deployed. New functionality can be added during this stage. That's maintenance. They are maintaining it. They are using it, but they are still maintaining it. But guess what? We have to make sure that we're in compliance. Even though they are using it, they are maintaining. Don't let me go into security. So maintenance. So we have in this space, we have developers because they're still adding things to the system. They're still adding new code, new scripts. And then we have the network admins also, network folks. They are helping to make sure the network is working, everything is working correctly. Then we have disposition. After a while, they say, oh, it's obsolete, we don't need all these technologies anymore. They retire the system, put it in archive, or retire part of the system. It may not be everything, may decide to take some off. I always tell people, I say, think about this. Right now, the kind of Facebook that we have now, is it the same one we have like 5 years ago?
Nope.
No, because they're always changing stuff, but they won't say anything. You see new iteration, new additions. So the system is being used, like you asked me the other time, will the system be used while we are doing the Scrum? Yes, it's in production. It's being used, but we're adding to it. So that's why you see maintenance, because we're always going to be adding new features, but it's going to be used while we're adding new features. You understand? So new features are added every week, every time, every day, whatever we decide to do to a regular system. And during this position, when we decide after a while, forever, we don't need it anymore. So developers and managers work on that and put it away. So in this phase, you will see a Scrum Master or a project manager. They fit in everywhere because they work with everybody. But what they do is that they make sure that everybody is doing their job.
Okay.
They make sure that these people are accountable to the team. So when we do a Scrum, business analyst will come and say, good morning, I work on the system, I met the customer, I got a requirement, I wrote the tax orders out, and I have the use cases all set up. And so everything is now breakdown in the sprint backlog, and we have everything ready for the team. That's the business analyst. You get a requirement and break it down. The team work together, and the Scrum Master too. So they work together on that. Some organization may not have a business analyst because they can't afford it. But I've had the luxury to work for some organizations that are very big and they have the money. I've worked with Computer Science Corporation before. I've worked for Notro before. I've worked for the SIC before. I've worked for the Agility Tax before, and so many agencies and so many government agencies, they have money. So they can afford to have so many people to work on it. I've even worked for the Census Bureau before that. We have like 500 cybersecurity analysts and 1,000 developers, something like that. They can afford it. They can afford it. So in such cases, you have all kinds of people there. But some organizations that are small business startups, they may not have that luxury. So it may be maybe this project manager that will be putting the requirement together. So that's where you get to see that some of us developers can do everything, because some projects you don't have all these people, so you end up being the one doing everything. Then another project you have the luxury, then you relax. Another project you don't have the luxury, then you do everything. You understand? So when you get into the industry, as a software engineer, you have to be flexible, because software engineer can pretty much do anything at the job, because they are like tech junkie. Everything is dropped on your lap and you have to do it. But a Scrum Master, you are lucky, you don't have to be too technical. But as you go in, you become technical because you start speaking their terms, you start knowing the software. If you know the software product, you learn about the product. You talk to the developers a lot, so they say their languages, you start picking it. You understand? So it's not really.
So I feel like I have an edge. I mean, having a technical background kind of
It's,
helps.
yeah, it's a good thing, right? But if you don't
Yeah.
have technical background too, you can do well if provided you are ready to learn. So normally, what you do, as soon as you get to the project, you you pick the project manual. There's a manual for the project for the product. You pick the manual and start reading, and ask them to do it. They will train you. They will still train you. Let them do you a demo. Let them see how the project works, and then you start picking it and start jotting things down, and that's it. I've trained some people that as a business analyst, they end up being a Scrum Master, and they're not really trained for Scrum. I have to kind of train them to do the Scrum because she went there to be a business analyst, but they put her as a Scrum. I said, take it. And she's a Scrum Master today. I mean, I've trained her like 5 years ago.
Nice.
So it's possible. It's not difficult. Just that you have to have anything you want to do in IT, you must have a determination to a degree to go for it. Like it's a do or die. I must achieve it. There's no stopping. If you're unstoppable, you will achieve it. But if you are the wishy-washy, not sure, you can't do anything tech. I mean, it's just a spirit. You must have the spirit and the agility to just be doggy. Like, I'm stuck here, I must make it here. That's just it. If you can have that, the remaining is history. So when I see people that will really make it in tech, I can really sense it from day one. But people that are so laid back, even though I can't say it, I'll just be looking like, well, no, some people that are laid back too, they achieve it, but it's better to be very sharp at the edge, cutting edge, getting it, be serious, be ready for it.
Is this a good
Putting everything into it, pretty much. What did you say?
is it a good time to talk about the certification?
How can you talk about certification on day one? What is wrong with you?
Okay, let me pause or chill.
It's too early. We do certification last day of class. Everything last day of class is certification.
No,
It's
I was
too
just
early.
talking, no, the actual certification for Scrum Masters.
Yeah, that's what I said. We do it last day of class. The certification is open book. You do it from anywhere. It's very easy. I'll show you everything you need to do, what you need to know. You can pretty much pass the certification with your eyes closed. And it's once you have it, it's for life. You don't have to renew it or anything, which is good.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's cool.
It's good. Everybody else in class, show your face now. What's going on?
I don't know. Everybody's just showing
Everybody's
their
just
face.
listening. Make the life class life
Uh,
now. Have you?
we have to listen first. Being new to the system, we have to listen and know what
Yeah,
is
but you should
going on.
have question now. You should have
We will
curiosity.
ask questions. We are just looking at the two of you because you have idea and knowledge about it. We are trying to cope. But what I can just get from the whole thing is, I think it has to do with how to improve. I mean, any organization, maybe product or whatever, what
Yes.
you need to do to bring people together, making sure that you achieve your aim, and your aim is customer's aim, what the customer
Yes.
wants.
Exactly.
So bringing everybody together, you have to be up and doing.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you too, you have to be knowledgeable of what is going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's it. You have to be knowledgeable of what is going on, ask questions, talk to the customer, and understand what the needs are and stuff like that. Miss Toyin, any question from you, or any addition, or summarize what you think you've learned? I want to make sure you are getting. That's why that's why you see my first day, I don't put too much. I just give you a preamble of it, then we start diving into it. By the time we get to week 3, you will see, oh, okay, it start going deeper and deeper and deeper, and you won't even know when we finish. Everything will just flow. You are muted, ma. Please unmute yourself. Okay.
Yeah, I've learned that Scrum is not a framework. That's the first thing that you gave us.
It's a framework.
It's a framework, I mean.
Okay.
It's a framework, and it gives a kind of guidance. And I also learned that it's going to be a teamwork where everybody is involved, and one have to be transparent and is splitted. Like I have like 2 or 3 stages, like the product backlog, and the sprint backlog. The sprint backlogs look at it to me like the processing center, where no changes takes place until when it's finished and it's shippable. That is, and you talk about all the characteristics. I try to pick 1 or 2 things about the characteristics, and you talk more about the value, how we have to be transparent. And I think I'm trying to really go along with
that's okay. It's a first day.
So, yeah,
it's okay.
Inspection, adaptation as the 3 pillars of Scrum.
I'm glad that you are jotting down, which is great. That helps you to understand and the information very well. That's good. So yeah, so that you did a good job like summarizing that. I'm going to give you a document also that you all will read, so that as we go into it, it will make it clearer and understand more. So it's called the Scrum Guide. I'll give you a Scrum Guide, and I also give you a document that is like a Scrum manual. So we're going to be using that to go, so that by the time you come back to next class, when you do the next slide, you will be able to discuss better. You understand? So don't worry. And Mr. Adelan. Okay. Can you talk? Do you want to discuss what you learned?
Yes, ma'am. The background information you gave, actually, I have the Scrum framework. So I've actually studied intensive. I mean, I was supposed to do the exam some time ago, so it's just I'm just soaking all what you teaching. I mean, and the way you're the practical things now. So I already understand the framework before now. So
Okay.
it's soaking in for me. Seeing someone that is doing it and now showing how it's done, the framework just tells me this is a product, the product this, the product, but you're now breaking it down, telling, okay, how you go about doing it. So that's, for me, was what I gather from this particular. Hey, I can hear you.
That's okay.
So that's what I gather from this. So I'm just taking it in.
Okay, that's very good. That's very good. So that's great. So I hope everybody they put their names in the group chat, so that I'll be able to send all the I'll be able to send the slides and the instruction for the day out to us. Let's see. I think I'm missing one person. Yeah, Adelana, please put your name in this group. Your name, yeah, I'm here. Your name and your email, so I will send this out to everybody. Okay, so also I always encourage my students to meet once a week. They meet and they discuss what we learn in class. So I'll send a slide out. We'll meet and discuss, you all meet and discuss what you learn in class. And if you have any question, you come back and we'll discuss it before we go to the next class. Excuse me, discuss it always in the morning. So which days is good for you all to meet? It's just 1 hour meeting. You all meet. I'm not going to be there. You meet by Zoom or whatever. Yeah, you can do Zoom meeting. Which day is good for you guys? Today is Saturday, so probably going to meet on maybe Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday evening, whatever. Which day?
I think we should just do weekend or something. Maybe on a Sunday, I believe. I think
How can you do
everybody's.
Sunday when today is already Saturday? Will you have enough time to review already? If I give you any homework to do, will you have time to review it before coming to class, to meeting?
No,
Or
I was
you're
just.
wo-
Oh, I was not talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about subsequently. Maybe you can. Most people are homes on weekends, so I was in. I was just suggesting.
I think that's too close to Saturday. That's what I'm saying.
Mm. I mean, what about Fridays? Yeah, Fridays maybe in the